Now you can see if the final answer you can generate very quickly yourselves also. Just paying attention to the last operation, that is or. So or will be applied on these two columns. So we are done with this. So you'll pay attention to this column as well as this column and you'll find the last operation. Very quickly do it. This column A and B and this column not B and C. So you can see for yourself 0 or 0, the result is a 0. 0 or 1, the result is a 1. 0, 0, the result is going to be a 0. The next one is going to be 0, 0, the result is a 0. Then 0, 0, the result is going to be a 0 here. 0, 1, the result is a 1. 1, 0, the result is a 1. And 1, 0, the result is a 1. So this is your final answer and this is done and you will be able to gain the marks. And you can see for yourself, this is what the high level sample answer. The child has done it in this manner. And if you really want, you can just show it in this manner. And you can see for yourselves, our answers are our high level answers, isn't it? Are our answers high level answers? 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. This is your high level answer. And do not forget to use the working space. And you can see here, the teacher's comments. My main concern is to make you understand the teacher's comments. So part A of the answer will be marked on the zeros and ones in the last column. The middle section is for working out. It is a good practice to work out the expressions in the brackets first, then combine them. Take care that your zeros and ones in the last column are clear, especially if you have made alterations to your answers. In part B, you are asked to draw a logic circuit. Make sure you use the logic gate symbols shown in the syllabus and draw the connecting lines carefully. So you can see these are the tips. Very important thing is you need to pay attention to these tips. Part of the answer will be marked on the zeros. So this is your important tip that you need to pay attention to. And the teacher's comments, the first answer is clearly set out and readable. For part A, the intermediate stages have been included and the final column is clear, correct, and complete. For part B, the correct symbols have been used. The diagram is clearly set and the gates have two inputs or fewer. Depending upon that, what is the requirement, you can see for yourself that the gates are dependent on the situation. And you can, this is how, by the way, moving back to the drawing of the circuit. Now, how will I draw the circuit? The drawing of the logic circuit of the unsimplified. Now, be very clear. If you think, again, the students say, Miss, can we use the NAND gate? No, not at all. Because remember, NAND is basically AND, which is going through the knotting process later. So you are not asked to use any of the symbols like that. So you have to put them in the same way as they're present in your question. So let's draw it together. Can you draw A and B or not B and C? A and B. So what are we going to do first? We are going to draw the AND gate first. A and B. So we are simply drawing the AND process. Is any questions till now, children? By the way, did you all get somewhat similar answers or was your answer different from what we have drawn? Again, using a pencil is going to be the best thing that you can do in order to do it. See, I'm just showing it to you. When we all can make a mistake. So just draw it nicely so that you can form it as the AND gate. This is my AND gate. And then you're going to connect it to the OR gate. And then you can see this is my OR gate. This is my OR gate. Then after that, you can see not B and C. So you will draw from here the NOT gate first, and then you will be connecting it to the another AND gate. Please be clear, this should be another AND gate. Do not think that you're going to use the same AND gate. Please be very, very cautious about these small things. The NOT gate will be drawn in this manner, small circle, and then you're going to draw another symbol from here, then AND C, so there will be AND gate coming from connecting the B knotted, and lastly we have the OR gate. And then you'll be connecting it to the last value, that is X. Dear student, have you all drawn in the same manner as we have drawn? And this is how you can get 8 out of 8. Use the intermediate value space, working space, and this is your final answer. So you can see here, this is what you will draw. And once you are drawing with pencil, you then with sharpened pencil, then work will be more accurate. Any questions? And now moving to the next one, you can see the low level answer. See, the low level answer. Second answer is unclear, no working space being used. Again, just some answers are written like this, and he has not used the right symbols also, and that is why he will definitely not be getting the answers. Like he will not be getting the marks. So be very clear about the drawing. Ji beta, are we all clear about this? Maybe move ahead. So there are some exam style questions which I really suggest that you better attempt them along with the questions in the book. Like this is the revision guide which we all are using, and these are the questions from the revision guide, and I suggest you that you better attempt them just for the practice. In this question, you will be given a statement followed by 4 possible answers. Select which of the 4 answers do you think is correct and put a tick. So you can see what is the symbol for an AND gate. So simple. Which one is the right answer? The first one, the second one, the third one, or the fourth one? Which is the right answer? Which is the AND symbol? I think we know this is the AND symbol. So in this manner, this is a few questions which are here. Again, a suggestion that you better attempt them, and you can see that where are you standing. Another one is draw the truth table for the OR gate and XOR gate. A question that has come in the paper, state why they are different. See, state why are they different. So because definitely OR gate is producing an answer differently and XOR gate is producing the answer differently. So this is what you can write in order to find out the result. And again, 2A, 2B, questions like this have come in the paper. So if you have solved the question papers, do it. That's really great. But if you haven't, do attempt the papers and then see for yourself. They're so simple to answer and score the marks. Very easy. Now, a company offers loans to people who can answer yes to at least 2 of the 3 questions. Are you over 18? Input A. Have you over $100,000 in bank? Input B. Have you a full-time job? Input J. So A, B, J. These are the 3 inputs. Write the logic expression to represent the system. Write the truth table for the system and draw a logic circuit. So there are 12 marks, and questions like this can come in the paper. So please do attempt it. If you have a query, then you can raise it in the class. So that is basically the thing from here. But let me take you to one more topic from the book. Now, this is something that I shared with you from the book, that this can come in the paper. Now, let me take you to another question from the book that can come in the paper, and that is in the one of the specimen papers also. Which, by the way, this is my given circuit, and I am asked to form the expression from the given circuit. This can also come in the paper. Again, it's very simple. What you need to know is this is what you can do. I mean, you can do it in the same manner. You write them as logic gate 1, logic gate 2, and logic gate 3. The last one will be considered as the last one. And then you just look at this one, and like this is the solved example. You can see, you know that this logic gate is AND gate. And this AND gate is getting one signal coming from A and another signal is coming from B. So you can simply state it as A and B. This is your first one. This is the representation of the first one. And then you talk about the logic gate 2, that is your OR. And this OR is getting signal from B and another signal is coming from C. So you can say B or C. And that is your logic gate 2. I mean, this is what you can do even for yourself. And lastly, this is the XOR gate, and this XOR gate or XOR gate is getting the signals, one from a logic gate 1 and one from logic gate 2. So what you can do, you can simply put the XOR gate in between, and then you can mention A and B, that was the first one, B or C, which was the second logic gate, and then the equation is over, the expression is over. And if it's a 3-mark question, you can easily score 3 out of 3 just by being a little cautious. So any questions? Okay, moving to another question, and that is again a solved example, and then you can attempt the activity from the book. Please, now it is the textbook that we are using. And here we can see this is my another circuit. It has the logic gate 1, and this logic gate 1 is the NAND gate. This logic gate 2 is my AND gate. I mean, if you think that you can forget it, then it's better, you can write them down with pencil also. There is no harm in writing them down with pencil. But inshallah, with practice, you will be through. So there's no need to just waste your time on that. And then lastly, third logic gate is your NOR gate. And this NOR gate, see, now logic gate 1 is getting one input from A, and second input is coming from C. And one more thing that you can observe, whenever any symbol is like a signal A and a signal B or maybe signal C, they're getting inputs maybe they're sending inputs to two logic gates. So in this case, you can see the use of a dot. And this dot is something that you need to place in your questions also, in your answers also, whenever you are solving. So this is going to be A is moving to the NAND gate. Similarly, C is also moving to the NAND gate. So this will be A NAND C. And then you can see the next one, logic gate 2, is getting input from B, and second input is coming from C, and this is the AND gate, that is why it will be B and C. First one is A NAND C, and second one is B and C. You can see A NAND C is the first one, as we have interpreted right now. And second one is my logic gate 2, that is B and C, which we have interpreted right now. Any questions till now? You children, any questions till now? This is what we have done just now. This is my A NAND C coming from C. You can just trace it out also. It's not coming from B, it's not coming from C. And this one is coming from B, the second one is coming from C. So B and C. And lastly, it is logic gate 4. This is my OR gate. But before that, there's another. And this logic gate 3 is getting one input from the result, and another input is coming from, again, you can see A and C are repeated ones. That's why a dot is formed with A here from here and C from here. So are you clear about this? You children, have you understood? So, acha, by the way, what will you do then? The last one is by OR gate. This is what I know. I have placed it. But before I moved on to the last one, I need to know that the logic gate 3 is the NOR gate. This logic gate 3 is the NOR gate. This NOR gate is getting one input from here, second input from A. So just this is how you will represent, and then OR gate will be connected later. You can see logic gate 1, NOR A. And logic gate 1 is my A Nancy. That's why you can simply write it down and then NOR A. So this is how you can make your answers accurate in a short time just by following these simple rule, these simple principles. A Nancy NOR A is your final one, and then you can make the final one A Nancy NOR A or B and C. B and C because that was just below, and that was only just two values are here, B, C, B and C. That's all. No other value is there. That is why it's so simple, and you have got the right answer in a short time, and definitely you will be able to score. Maybe it's a 3-mark question or a 4-mark question, you are able to score. Any questions? So by the way, if you really want, you can do the activity that is present in the book, and question number 2 that is present on page 377. So note it down, page 377 of your book. Question number 2 is dealing with two similar questions. You keep this activity in front of you, and you can attempt, and inshallah you'll be through with that one. Page 377, question number 2, A and B are going to be the same, that you are asked to write an expression from the given logic circuit. Now moving to the last topic. Again, remember, this is just a very quick recap. The example number 4 is dealing with, you are sometimes asked to make an expression from the given truth table. And that is again very easy. What you need to do is, now these are my truth tables. And from the truth table, I need to frame the expression. The first state that you will do is you will look at the final output column, and you will look for all those answers that are all those rows that have the value of 1. So in this case, there is only one row, so you have highlighted this row. You will circle this one, you will highlight this one or whatever. You can even tick this one also. That's perfectly okay. You can tick this one just to know that this is my 1 in the final output column. Then you will look for the values for A, B. The value of A is a 1 and the value of B is a 0. So you will simply say A and not B. This is the representation of 1, 0. I'm repeating. You will look for the entries that are containing a 1 in the final column. You will look for the values there. The value is 1 for A and 0 for a B. So you will interpret this as A and not B. And this is going to give you the mark. It's a 1 mark question or a 2 mark question. So this is how you can gain the marks, and then you can frame the circuit so easily. A and not B. So B is not at first, and then it is moving to the AND gate. Again, see the placement. And is later and not is before. Questions? Okay, another question. You can see this question is a bit different from the earlier one. Difference is earlier one had only one column, one row as the that was containing the final answer as 1. But how now there are 2. No worries at all. What you will do is, so you will simply look for this one. You will highlight the same, do the same, either highlight or tick, and then you will look for the values here. It's A, B. A is a 0, B is a 1. So you will say not A and B. This is the representation of the first one, not A and B, because the value of A is a 0 and the value of B is a 1. That's why we wrote not A and B. And in the second one, it is A, B. Both are positive or both are 1s. That's why I simply wrote A and B. And the OR operation is going to be here in between, because that is simply the representation that either the value of input A is 0 and the value of input B is 1, or both of them are 1s, they are going to give you this answer. That is why it will be not A and B, or A and B. And then you can frame its circuit also. Again, so simple. If you have understood how to draw the circuit, then no matter what the question is, just pay attention, draw small circuits, and then you will be able to get the final answer very quickly. Just a small tip. If you get a bigger question, which is dealing with the number of circuits, with the number of gates, do not get confused. Just make smaller ones, and then you can get the final one. I mean, a question is here. I'll give you a hint from there also. Any questions? So by the way, this Boolean algebra is not included in our IGCSE syllabus, but still they have just mentioned here for those children who are good at understanding. So you can see here, not A means A bar, and means dot, B plus because of or, A and B means A dot B. So the ones who understand the Boolean algebra, that is going to help them a lot, because they can write that also and they will be getting the answers marked as correct also. Fine. Now again, a repetition of the same. You are given the output, and this is again you can do as a practice. So you can see that where are you standing at the moment. Now moving to another question. So what is the difference in this question from the other two? Yes, children, what is the difference between this question and the other two? Again, it's a truth table given to you, and you are asked to make an expression from the given truth table. The difference is there are 3 inputs. So do not get worried at all. Let me tell you, the method is again so simple. What you can do is you can simply write them down just in front. Just use the same. Just write them down in front. You can see this is A0, B1, C1. So you can simply say not A and B and C. A0, that's why it is not A and B and C, because they both are 1s. Then you move down to the second situation, and that is A is 1, B is 0, C is 1. So you can simply say A is 1 and B is a 0, not B. And then it is going to be C. So this is your second one. And you can put them in brackets also just while you are doing, so you can be just very clear that this is what is going to be the main thing. Put them in brackets at the same time. Do you children, any questions till now? A and not B and C. This is the representation of this one. And then let's move to the next one. This is your A is 1, B is 1, C is 0. So what will I write? A and B and not C. This is my third bracket. A and B and not C. Either you write this or you write this. They both mean the same. And then lastly, the last one is all three of them are ones that I will simply say A and B and C. So this is how you can represent your answer. And one thing that you need to include in between is the use of an or. That's all. So you simply write or here and you are done. This or this or this. See, so simple. Just be cautious and you will be getting everything should be multiple values will be handled through or, and this is how you can get the answer. Are you clear about this? Not A and B and C, or A and B and A and not B and C, or A and B and not C, or A and B and C. Ye children, are we clear about this? So another question can come in the paper that you are asked to make an expression from a logic expression from the given truth table also, and you can just do it, and then you can frame once you have drawn it, you can make a circuit also. Not a difficult thing to make a circuit. Once you have made this, making a circuit will not be a difficult task at all. So any questions? G children, any questions? Now you can see there's another activity that is present here just for yourself for the practice. Apart from the past papers, please, past paper questions are supposed to be attempted. If you have not attempted, please, the videos are there. So you can watch the videos and then you can attempt the questions. And there are a few activities that are dealing with the same that you have to make the expression from the given truth table. And another thing that I was talking about is if you get a difficult question, which seems to be difficult. So again, Acha, by the way, this is somewhat similar to what we have done. Let me talk about that, what you can do actually. Something like this. Now, just do not get confused. If you get a question like this, what will you need? Acha, by the way, any questions till now? Because this is the last example, we need to talk about this one. And then it means that we are done with the entire chapter's revision. So if there's no confusion, then I'll move ahead. Please, I'm waiting for your responses. Is there any confusion, anything that is unclear? Okay, assuming that there's no confusion, let's move to the next question, the last one in today's class. A wind turbine has a safety system which uses three inputs to a logic circuit. A certain combination of conditions result in an output X from the logic circuit being equal to 1. When the value of X is 1, then the wind turbine is shut down. So you can recall, again, link it with the chapter that you have learned in paper 1, that is your controlling applications. So wind turbines automatically shutting down are based on some situations. So what is the difference? Actually, this question is now dealing with a few parameters. No worries at all. The parameters are turbine speed, represented as S. The second is your bearing temperature, which is represented as T. And lastly, it is wind velocity, that is represented as W. And you can see there is one change that you can see here, and the change is it is showing the two values. What is it? If S is 0, it means turbine speed is less than or equal to 1000 RPM. And if the value of S is 1, that means if the turbine speed is above 1000 RPM, then it means it will be shown as the value of 1. Second parameter is my T, which is temperature. Temperature 0 means the temperature is less than or equal to 80 degrees centigrade. And if the temperature is above 80 degree, it means it will be the value of T as 1. The third parameter W, value 0 means wind velocity is less than or equal to 120 kph. And if the wind velocity is above 120 kilometers per hour, it will be represented as a 1. So this is understanding of the whole table with the descriptions, and they are simply there to make you understand. So a few questions like this are in the paper, so please do attempt them and then get back to me if there is any question, any confusion. And one of the questions we have just seen that was similar in the study guide that we talked about. This is somewhat similar. So please do attempt them, past paper questions, and this topic must be very well prepared. Output X will have a value of 1 if any of the following conditions, combination of conditions occur. Now let's do it together. Now the first condition, as you can see here, it is done with either and or. Now what is it? Either turbine speed is less than 1000 RPM and temperature is greater than 80. So you look for the variables. Speed is going to be S. And you will look for the value here. S is less than or equal to 1000 RPM is represented as, can you see? It is a 0. So what will you write here? You will simply say not S. See, so simple. You look for the value here, you look for the value in the table, and you know that S0 means this is representation of turbine speed less than or equal to 1000 RPM. So you simply wrote not S. And then you will use the word and because of this and in between. Bearing temperature greater than 80 degree. Bearing temperature greater than 80 is T equals to 1. So you will simply say and T. Any questions? We have simply converted this into a, and then we have it all. Turbine speed less than, okay, now let's very quickly do the next part. Or turbine speed greater than 1000 RPM. Turbine speed greater than 1000 RPM means S is 1. So I'll simply say S. And second situation is velocity is above 120 kph. You can see velocity above 120 kph is 1. So you will simply say S and W. This is your second situation. And lastly, it is or. And then lastly, the situation is temperature is less than 80 degree. Temperature less than 80 degree is T0. So you will simply say not T. And because of this and, velocity above 120 kph, velocity above 120 kph is W. So you will simply say W. And this will complete your logic expression. So simple. If you get something like this, do not get confused what is supposed to be a no. No worries at all. You simply have to look at the values from here and you get the final answer. May I repeat or is it clear? You looked at the values here, you looked at the table, you looked at the values and then located the values there and you wrote them down. If the value is, the boundary value is a 0, you will use not with that parameter. If the value is a 1, then you will simply write it down. That's all. Children, any questions before I proceed to the main thing, one more thing that I want you all to understand, and that is the use of the stages, and you will draw the diagram. In case you think that you are getting confused because of so many of the expressions, so no worries at all. You simply do what? The first one was not S and T. So you simply draw a small, this is something that we are talking to the beginners, like the ones who are practicing for the beginning, not S and T. This is the first one. So you have made the small intermediate circuits, and the first one is not S and T. Second one was S and W, S and W, and so simple. And lastly, it was T was not and W. So not T and W, not S and T drawn, S and W drawn, not T and W supposed to be drawn, and this is my not T and W. And once you are done with the drawing of the small circuits, then you simply combine them by, first of all, combining the first two together. See, again, you will first of all combine the first two. And once you are done with that, then you will combine the result with the last one. So let's see, what will you do here? First was not S and T. You have connected it to the OR gate. Second input was coming from S, and you can see S was repeated. That's why S with a dot, and then it's here an and W, and it is going to the OR gate. So still we are done with only the first part. Any questions? Not S and T connected to the OR gate. Then we have S and W connected to the OR gate. And lastly, we are going to connect it with the last OR gate, and that will be just drawn in this manner. So do not get overwhelmed. Okay, what is happening here? No worries at all. You can see again one more thing. The last one is my not T and W. So W is repeated. It's going to S and W as well as it's going to not T and W. So STW, T is drawn in the middle. You are going to draw the not symbol first for T. You will connect it with the AND gate, and then you will connect it to the last OR gate, and that will be connected to the X. So this is how, once you have drawn the intermediate gates and circuits, you have connected them together with the help of pencil, draw them, and your final answer will be accurate. And once your final answer is accurate, then you can get the right answer also in the same manner. So you can see intermediate values, not S and T, then you are going to have the next one as your S and W, and the last one not T and W. G children, any questions till now? When this question was, and again, you can see a few activity questions are here for you to practice and you can do them. And this is a small tip that you need to remember. Activity 10.4 is dealing with, first of all, question number 1, that is simple circuits. Then question number 2 is dealing with somewhat similar. And nowadays, a lot of questions are coming like that. So just do attempt these activities. If you're done with this, inshallah, this topic will be well prepared. Remember to know the truth tables for the simple logic circuits and the descriptions. Then moving further, you have a number of things that we have done today. Today we have made the first thing, the very first thing that we did was we have framed the truth table from the given circuit. Then we talked about framing the expression. Then we talked about the framing of the expression from the given truth table and the circuit also. And lastly, this is the one, and attempt the activities, and inshallah you'll be through with this whole question. Any questions before we finish our lesson for today? Definitely, you can approach me anytime. I'll be definitely there for you people. Jazakallah khair Kasida for being a part of the learning journey. Hope that you have understood each and everything. Stay tuned, like my channel, share with your friends and family. May Allah bless you. May Allah help you out with your future endeavors. Allah Hafiz from my end. Take very good care of yourselves and the loved ones.